3, Altering, this brand new Danish. This is kind of like a mystery thriller. This show just dropped on Netflix called Secret We Keep. And when I saw this series was coming on Netflix, I was excited to see this show because all the promotion material in this series, it sounded interesting. And after watching this series, wow, I did not expect this series to be this much dark. And the ending is just beyond disturbing, and overall watch was just like wow. So in this series we see Cecilia, she has this maid, and also her neighbor also has maid, and they sponsor this maid from Philippines. This show starts with, and we see one of her, like when her neighbor's maid, her name is Ruby, when she goes missing in this show, basically we try to find out like what happened to Ruby, who is here, in this like maid visa in Danish, I guess. So this show centers around Ruby went missing. So as the investigation start, like what happened to her, as the audience, we wonder with Cecilia, like what happened to Ruby, and we see the maid she has right now. She's also like, oh, what happened to her? So this show starts with this plot line. Of course, as the show goes on, we learn like what happened to Ruby. Oh, as the story behind her disappearance, like coming out as the audience, as we find more about her disappearance backstory, you just feel more like disgusted by it, honestly, because these people, they work so hard. They're from Philippines, and these people, like the way they get treated here, it's just like really heartbreaking, and I guess this kind of maid, it's not just in Europe, we have it here as well. Everywhere people come on this visa, they wants to get pay, and they want to get better life, and when they get this kind of treatment, it's just really, really sad. And that being said, the person behind the abuse here in this show, I was just like, what? I was really disturbed by it, especially from like, what the heck, 15 years old. So spoiler, I suppose. So if you have not seen the show, spoiler warning. Like, of course, it is beyond disturbing when I find out that behind all the abuse Ruby faced in this show, it is from this 15 years old boy, Oscar. And his mom knew that, he raped her, and he basically, the mom killed her. So like, whoa, what? End of the show, I was really, really disgusted. At the same time, if I'm being honest about this show, watching this show was quite engaging, really, because as the audience, you don't know like what happened to her. So when we find out that she was in fact she was raped, you're like just even more disgusted, I suppose. So this show really brings forward very interesting story, I guess, because end of the day, it is very interesting and engaging story, but the tragic behind it, it's just beyond heartbreaking. I was really heartbroken end of it. But as a show, is this interesting? Of course, I still found the show to be quite interesting, because like, as the investigation goes on around the show, you are just like edge of your seat. You don't know what happened. That being said, if I'm being honest about this show has only 6 episodes, and most of the character in this show, they are pretty bad. Like Cecilia, she's only supposed to be a good character. She's very successful woman, and she's rich, they're rich people here. All of them are here in this show, and I guess her story with her husband was kind of like some of this to a plot twist. You think about the show, you think something, but it's not. That being said, the Oscar parents' backstory and the story, it's just like so messed up. The mom messed up, her son messed up, the whole family is just messed up. Although you are expecting them to be messed up, but when this show revealed to the audience, you are just like, wow, this is really sad. Too much, if I'm being honest. But overall, the show still was quite interesting. I guess it was very engaging as the investigation goes on. you do feel as the audience very engaged, you know. You do want to finish. Once you start watching the show, you do want to finish. This is one of those shows, although the show is not perfect. It has 6 episodes. Some of the episode is really dragged. Some of the scene is really dragged out very unnecessarily. I personally wish this show had a better investigation. The investigation, I did not like it that much. I feel like the detective, she wasn't very capable when she was doing the investigation. So that is the only complaint I have about the show. But I guess overall the show was still very interesting, and it still is very engaging, and the story they bring forward here, it's really ask you a lot of question end of it. But I just didn't like it. Behind all of this is who's responsible, you know? Like, what, 15 years old? Only 15. That's so disturbing and disgusting, honestly. But still, the show is not show's fault. The overall show is quite interesting and engaging that I personally liked. And that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this show? If you enjoyed this review, don't watch other reviews on other show. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe until I see you next time. Please take care.